I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Committee of the Municipality of Red Lake. Acknowledge that our foundation and the spaces in which we live and maintain are on the lands of the Anishinaabe of Red Lake, the traditional lands of Lac Seul and Wabascang First Nations, all treaty people. We will continue to cherish the reciprocity of all our relationships on these sacred lands and waters. I know that anyone present may not record video or audio and or leave on any cell phone without permission. And followed by the disclosure of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof, for the agenda for this meeting and for minutes of a meeting at which a member was not in attendance. None. And we get to move right down to number 6, which is new business. And we'll start off 6.1 with a review. The Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference update. And I believe Mayor Mona's going to meet us.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. We were very, very busy at Roma this year. We had quite a few delegations on top of some friendly delegations with NOMA and the District Service Board as well. So I'll highlight a few of them that we attended, and then our CAO and Deputy Mayor will chime in on a few other ones. We met with the Ministry of Mines, Minister Peary. The basis of our discussion was really about developments on mining claims and how that ministry can be helpful with us moving forward in the future. We also gave the minister an update on current activities happening in the Red Lake and regional area, and he's very excited for all of the future forthcoming for Red Lake. And he said he will be making a visit in the near future up here as well. We also met with the Ministry of Long-Term Care, Minister Cho. I met with him twice, once on our delegation and once on another delegation with the District Service Board in regards to transitional housing for seniors and mainly the Norseman project. The minister was very interested in this, especially with the partnership with the District Service Board. So we're hoping some of this is going to be moving forward in the near future. The District Service Board is waiting to hear from Ministry of Community Social Services and the Ministry of Long-Term Care in regards to that shortage of funding, and hopefully we'll be receiving some dollars in the very near future and make this project a reality. The other piece that we discussed with him was the number of beds at the Northwood Lodge of 32 beds and how they're continuously filled. And unfortunately, really the only way you can get in is if someone passes on, and that domino effect it has from the nursing home down to the hospital, down to our community. We also met with Minister Fideli, Economic Development. Minister Fideli, very interested in the Kinross project in Red Lake, of course, Frontier Lithium to the north of us. Minister Fideli acknowledged that the discussion on the all-weather bridge has moved forward to the Treasury Board, and we'll be waiting on some information with that moving forward. We also met with Ministry of Finance, and we discussed the MAT tax on employer-owned accommodations. We've been talking with the ministry about that for quite some time. They need to change legislation in order for that to move forward, but we did have their ear on that. Also, we talked about taxation on the tailings facilities with mining operations. It's a very common theme. And we also talked about the pipeline taxation and the fairness and the equality of that. We met with Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. We had spoken mainly about the Municipal Disaster Recovery Assistance Program, and over Red Lakes time over 3 years of reoccurring disasters, how we become in a shortfall and we have to finance those dollars, and we had a pitfall of over $400,000. And we need the ministry to work with us to help smaller municipalities recover those dollars that are going to be returned back because of their formulations. And we also spoke with them about our housing needs, such as Crown land and other developments for housing for our future. We spoke with the MTO in regards to speed limit reductions. Was a little frustrated with the MTO in regards to a couple of our areas, such as where our community dog park is, and extending that area out a little further from a 50 to an 80. And they advise that they have to do traffic counts and all sorts of different things to move that. I think it's 400 meters. It's not very far, but they will try to move that process a little forward. And we also talked to them about the 2+1 highway project, which may be beneficial for Highway 105. We had a delegation with Hydro One. We all spoke to them about the increasing of electrical capacity into our area and what it means for our area with all of the industry and our growing need here. And we also spoke to them about the letter that I had written to them in regards to the power outages that we had, cell service and landlines and those different things. We spoke with the Ministry of Energy, again, about increasing electrical capacity and natural gas expansion here in the Red Lake area. They seem to agree that we should be able to expand here, but there's some challenges going on right now with the province and Enbridge Gas, but they're going to keep us updated on those files. We also spoke with Northern Development. We talked about alternative access routes out of the community, who's going to be responsible for those, because that's flipped back and forth with the MNRF. And they said it should be some of one, some of another, but they're going to be talking with the different ministries to see who's going to be responsible for those actions. We also talked to Northern Development about our airport expansion plans and funding that's potential for there. And then the last thing we brought up was the Barons River Bridge. So outside of that, I also met with Minister Rickford and Minister Parza with the District Service Board in regards to the Mooresman project. It was taken very, very well. Both ministers support that project. Outside of that, there was a couple others because we had some time issues while we were there, and the deputy mayor and the CAO also attended 2 delegations, one with health and one with Solgen. So I don't know, CAO would just like to comment on those 2.
Meeting with the Ministry of Health, the 2 things we kind of brought up was somebody accesses a virtual healthcare provider and then they get testing requested. In order for the hospital to honor those testing requests, the doctors or the nurse practitioners have to be privileged in the hospital. So our things are struggling with that. Ministry essentially said that they don't really have jurisdiction over that. It's our doctors, so we'll have to work. And had a very brief discussion with Dr. Paul. Solicitor General, main topic of conversation was implementing a community safety zone. It's a public school because it's on a King's Highway. So they gave us the process for how to do that. So you should see something already in March. Staff for the rest of the year is the community plus 618. I could just add one other quick thing on finance. Things we had a very quick discussion with regards to the review of the assessment process, and just provided them some comments on how they can provide greater stability to communities. case. So that we don't have situations where appeals are ongoing for years. So hopefully those get incorporated into their new plan forward.
And I'll add a few comments as well. It was almost, I would say, almost overwhelming, the number of meetings that we had. And then CAO and I were also invited to one with Associate Minister Tangri with small businesses. And it was Henry Wall from the KDSP that had invited a group of women to go there to talk about an entrepreneurial opportunity for women in our area that might be able to be trained and mentored and be able to then be licensed to be able to offer daycare in order to meet some of the spots that are going to be required over the next 10 years. So that was it 3 years? Anyway, she seemed very receptive, but it was at the end of a very long day. So it's always hard, but Henry did say that he has had some feedback since. Saw at KDSP. The Roma itself, like the main theme for the conference was closer to home. And it was all with regards to how do we fill the gaps. And that was sort of like the subtitle. So the Roma board itself did produce a report. It offers 22 recommendations. It is now available online. So I'm going to just show you what it looks like. So if you go into the website, if you see that, you'll know you're in the right spot. They offered 22 recommendations for immediate action regarding healthcare service design and delivery and funding. So for instance, some of the things were the paramedicine. Paramedicine was listed several times. The increased opportunities for the use of nurse practitioners, including things like having nurse practitioners being the ones leading health clinics in order to alleviate some of the issues with doctors. The other thing is there's a call across the province for municipalities to have a say with the Ontario health teams. Some people are a little reluctant about that because they're concerned, will that mean municipalities putting up more money? So they're saying we cannot have anything else down once. It was very interesting. We got a lot of great feedback from it. We also had a meeting with Zone 10 and Mayor Moda attended that. And across the Northwest, the issues are all the same as what we're experiencing here. Number one issue, though, it seems to be the Northern Travel Grant and the lack of the update and the lack of funds in order to cover. Some people were telling us stories that they are out thousands of dollars for having to take family members down to Toronto and stay with them. It was really interesting. So they also expansion of the Learn to Stay grant, lack of addiction services, doctor recruitment, lack of housing, equitable funding for the North. There are so many things. We all have the same issues. What was really nice to see was that MPP Kevin Holland sat in on the meeting, and he definitely is an ally. As often as he can, he brings in ministers from around the province up to the area. Now the area his is Thunder Bay Atikokan. So it's not us, but still those ministers are coming to the north and they're seeing what it's like. And one of the things he did say, he said that the province is looking at the funding formula and that they are eager to hear regional solutions. So the more solutions we have, and I think our voice has been loud in offering solutions. Let's see what else. Oh, a couple of highlights from main stage. Henry Wall was also a member of the panel. This was on the main stage. And it was all about experiences and solutions for rural, northern, and remote homelessness. And what I found really interesting was that he used Red Lake as one of the success story and our homeless job. I thought that was really good because he was saying if Red Lake can do it, here are some things. So I don't know if anybody's been in touch with you to say, can they have more information? But I thought that was really, I mean, it was nice to be acknowledged from the stage there. The other one that really just, she's terrified me, I guess I have to say. Althea Raj, who is, she's one of the people that's at issue on CBC. She's one of the regular contributors. She was speaking about the increase of fake news and also the AI generation and how it's affecting mostly youth, but also how it's creating a polarizing effect when it comes to politics. Not only polarizing, where you know, oh, we've got right and left, but also it's becoming terrifying for some people at all levels of government who are being targeted and being threatened. And so she said, this is an issue that needs to be dealt with. I found that really fascinating and, as I said, scary. Other thing is opportunities for networking. We had so many opportunities to talk to counselors, CAOs from other places. And yeah, I thought it was a great conference, but does anybody have any questions? Yes, go ahead.
Just one further comment. I forgot to mention that since Stephen Clark was removed from his position as Minister of MMH, Minister Calandra stepped into that position. And I had the opportunity to meet with him one-on-one. Very receptive. And again, talking about the transitional housing for seniors project and what that means to Red Lake. And he was very interested in that. I saw him later on in the day and he was speaking to a group of delegates and he actually mentioned our project to them. So it was positive to hear that from him. But yeah, I know it was a very good conference. Busy.
On then, so we'll move ahead to 6.2, Federation of Canadian Municipalities Conference and Trade Show, which someone has dates. Yes, speaking.
Okay. So the FCM conference is in Calgary from budget. We had approved 2 council members and 1 staff, and just looking for who's interested in registration for this tomorrow.
I know I'm definitely interested, but.
I would go.
Yes, I'm definitely interested. I think we need to expand our federal partnerships for sure. And that's the purpose of this. I've never been to a FCM conference before.
So what we do is I take a look at someone isn't able to attend and fully allocate.
Sure.
And this will give, I have that's the dates. This is the first that I've heard the actual dates, so I would have to check too, because I'm not sure. But you're gonna register the 2 and the staff member?
Sure. We're definitely going to involve groups.
Okay. And Western Ontario Municipal Association Conference. Location and dates, please.
So that one's in April 24th to 26th. So this one, early bird registration ends March 11th, and we have until April 26th to cancel. They're not about 6 rooms a month, so we've got a little bit more time. One.
Where is?
No,
where's the actual conference? Is it gonna be at the same place or?
That's
I heard that hotel's changing.
Oh, Victoria and okay.
So our rooms are booked at the Hampton Inn, but the conference itself is at the Victoria. Correct.
Yes. Does anyone have interested in going right now? Okay.
April 24th to 26th.
Interested, but I'll have to check.
I'm hoping for AMO.
Oh,
That is my goal.
Okay.
and I guess the other option, and another option. Interested, or if you maybe able to go?
April 24th.
Yeah, April 24th to 26th.
And registration
the March 11th.
Yes. Early bird registration.
I'll have to.
And Peter, just to let you know, you would not have to do your own registry. Like, that would all be done by the staff here.
Oh, yeah.
So as long as you.
The Marathon's gonna send both.
They're sending 2 candidates.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, the second one, something came up with the second one last year. Only 1%.
Also, all your costs are covered.
Okay. All right. Anything else on our agenda? So moved by Councillor, seconded by Councillor Christoph. All the committee of the whole hereby adjourns this evening. There, all those in favor? Carried.